Welcome back, everybody. BSL Season 6. We are here in Group F. Yes, we're here in Group F. I remembered. And we're going to go in our winners match. So coming up next, we're going to have Dragon versus Napoleon. Wait, Dragon versus... Wait, am I...
Dewalt.
Dewalt versus Napoleon. Aha! I think they're trying to trick me. Actually, he's not. I just read the wrong map, so that's not my fault. I'm completely innocent in this regard. So Dewalt versus Napoleon as our next map. Sorry, it's a little late here. It's been a very long day, few days of StarCraft for me. So everything's all starting to blend together. This is why I have trusty Nyoken here to keep me pointed generally in the right direction.
Yeah, well, we had a great series with Napoleon and Dragon, but Napoleon's going to have his work cut out for him versus Dewalt. But he did look strong, so I do think that he has a good chance taking out Dewalt. I have to say that we got new maps this time. Finally, somebody decided we're not going to have Eddy, Sylphid, Benzene, Circuit Breaker. Our second map is going to be Blockchain, and our third map is going to be Heartbait. I so hope we get to the third map because we're going to have two new maps. And I have not seen a Zerg versus Protoss on Blockchain yet. I'm so looking forward to this matchup.
I can count the number of blockchain games I've seen in BSL on like the number, like on one hand, essentially, and maybe even less than that. And certainly Heartbeat is a true rarity. So I definitely hope we get all the way to 3 games, even though my body is telling me that I hope each game is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. So let's get into game number 1 without further ado. It's going to be on Eddy for game number 1 between our winners, Dewalt and Napoleon. And here we are, spawning on to In the Way of an Eddy, in the upper right-hand corner, playing Zerg from Finland. This is Napoleon.
And in the top left, we've got one of the few players to ever go to Korea. It is Dewalt. So what do you think we should expect here? Are we just going to have a similar game to Sylphid? Is it going to be like the Benzene game? What do you think we're going to see from Dewalt here?
Well, Dewalt does like the +1 Corsair style. It's definitely something I was not super used to seeing before tonight. But then again, it's always kind of interesting to see the merging of I guess play styles, because you do have Dewalt having trained extensively out here in Korea for the last month or so, and so he's obviously been kind of picking up the styles that exist out here. And I guess he played a lot on the Korean ladder even before he moved out here, so that might be of a heavier influence. I honestly expect to see a lot more of the same. I hope Napoleon continues to try out the Hydra style. That seems to be working better for him than it does anyone else that I've seen try it out. I was glad that we got a chance to see some weirder ZVP games yesterday, but I don't think that we're going to get a chance to see too much of that today.
Yeah, Dewalt, a pretty much standard player. Napoleon looks pretty standard also, but we do have a difference in the builds from your first series with Dewalt. Instead of going for 12 Nexus or Forge Expand, this is going to be a Gateway Expand. And luckily for Dewalt, he's gotten off a first scout. And what's he going to do from here? Is he going to go into more Zealots? Is he going to have a faster Nexus? I think Dragon just built 1 Zealot and then went for an expansion, but based on this pylon timing, this looks like we're probably going to have multiple Zealots coming out from Dewalt, similar to what TT1 was going for in his series. Oh, yeah. As I say that, he's saving up minerals for 400 for that Nexus.
No justice in the world. Yeah, there is only 1 Zealot out on the map. Honestly, yeah, I'm still a little bit upset that our other Canadian savior, besides Dragon, TT1 is no longer with us. He actually had some sick games and was so close to moving on, but alas, not meant to be. But you're right. This is just the dastardly duo, Zealot Batman and Probe Robin, terrorizing the drone mineral line. Let's see how much damage they can get done.
Well, I have to say, he didn't have much larva to build these lings, so he's only going to have 4 coming out. And this Zealot is doing a good job. Like, these drone pulls... Oh, he's going to get the probe. Didn't even get the probe. But these drone pulls, that's a lot of economic damage. Ooh. How did Dewalt get out?
Also, how did he target down the 1 damaged drone after the drill? That's just like, okay, all right, we get it. You're good. You don't have to convince us. He does get only 1 drone killed, but he does force a lot of lost mining time, a lot of drills. Each one of those is not mining, so but in the end it's back to business as usual, so not really too much you can say about that.
Yeah, so the Zealot did go down, probe went down, that's the main issue, but that was a lot of economic damage dealt. He got a probe, he got a couple wings, and DeWalt's sending out another probe to see exactly what's going on. A 3-minute scout for the probe that's really, you're not really seeing anything important from the Zerg at this point. What is Napoleon going to go for? He's got his gas pretty quickly. He's got his 3rd hatch going. The Lings are going to intercept this probe. This probe's so important for DeWalt. He must at least scout the 3rd base, determine what's going on. And what's his follow-up going to be? Cybernetics just going down. DeWalt, just from what I see, he's just always so standard, really expecting that Stargate play. There's the Hydra Den for Napoleon, so we're going to have some 3-hatch Hydra play coming in.
Spicy. Now, we have to keep an eye on our drone counts to figure out like what version this is supposed to be. But I actually really like this. I feel like it's definitely a rare. I think 5-hatch Hydra is by far the more common way to play. But especially if you can deny the information that this is coming for as long as possible, you absolutely kill your opponent. And there's also that weird or the opportunity to only send a few Hydras out and say, I'm gonna bust you with the Hydras, and then just pull back and make a ton of drones behind it and kind of fake out your Protoss opponent.
Yeah, that's a common move that Zerg players do. We're already seeing the implication of this denial of the scout. A cannon has already been made for Dewalt. In comparison to the Benzene game, where he had a probe in the base up until the 5-minute mark, he stayed on 1 cannon the entire time, but now he's on 2. But fortunately for him, having this extra cannon is going to work out because we see Napoleon's going for a bust.
Well. What do you know? The Protoss player that builds more than just 1 cannon is better prepared for busts like this. Just trying to hammer home that certain Protoss players may have lost from only trying to get away with 1. But here we go. Probe, luckily out on the map, or skillfully out on the map. We'll scout everything happening. I'm not sure if Napoleon was trying to like hide the Hydras there, but Probe does see everything coming.
Yeah, an instant reaction from Dewalt. He's putting up 5 cannons. Now there are 6 Hydras here, but they don't have range, so they're going to be getting shot from these cannons in the back. I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe not initially, but I do think this is going to buy him enough time. Oh, he's going for it. He's trying to focus the cannons down, and this even triggered a full drone pull, a full probe pull from Dewalt. He knows the threat. Desperately trying to get these cannons up. Oh, a great drill.
Oh, and it traps the Hydras within range of the cannons. Not all of them are done, only 3, but still several dead Hydras. And realistically, like, okay, it sucks to lose these. Okay, it really sucks to lose those probes. But if you can trade probes for just thinning this Hydra, I mean, already things are actually looking fantastic for Dewalt as the rest of these cannons finish warping in.
Yeah, Napoleon really not dealing any damage essentially. And Dewalt got a full scout. The probe is even alive in the base once he recognizes it. And he'll be able to see exactly what's going on. If he can just scout the 3rd base, he knows it's an all-in. Napoleon still going hard on these Hydras. The Forge goes down. That's sort of a decent pick-off, but I don't think it's enough.
Well, as double quotes all in or aggressive as you want to say that is, he's droning back behind it. So I think that is the correct reaction. Say, look, I forced out a ton of cannons, killed a bunch of probes. Let's just pull back after
Wow.
this. You know, it's enough damage. But I guess sometimes it is hard to kind of figure out, okay, what is enough. But I think that that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it is hard to judge, especially when you don't have any scouting. Now, this time, Dewalt has this probe, so he does see exactly what's going on. He saw that drones were being made, but if that probe was not alive, he potentially could have had to keep his probes pulled. We saw a secondary pull because he didn't know exactly what's going on. But it looks like both of the players are just going to go into standard play. We've got Napoleon with a 4th hatch, 5th hatch even coming down. Looks like the game is just normalized at this point.
Making sure to scout out the rest of the map. Napoleon is seeing if there's any shenanigans down the bottom half. Hasn't actually scouted the rest of the bases, so there could always be a hidden one. I always appreciate players who, either fan a bunch of Zerglings out or just make sure that there's nothing else happening out there. Because if you are vigilant enough, especially with Overlord spread, you can see things like this pesky Dark Templar running through the middle of the map.
Yeah, and all these cannons have put a damper onto Dewalt's build, especially also in combination with the probe pull. We can see the effect. There's only 2 gates really, 3rd and 4th just really going up for Dewalt now. He's not going to be able to get out on the map and punish the powering of Napoleon. Napoleon's doing a
Nyoken.
Oh, there's that DT.
1, 2, 3, 4. Give me 4. Can I see 4? 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right, finally the Hydras come in, but the DT just runs away. 0 counterplay, Nyoken.
So apparently all you need is 1 gate to deal harassment back to the Zerg player. Sneak that 1 DT out. Overlord's just barely out of position, getting 6 drone kills. Also another full drone pull. And again, this is what Dewalt does. He's in an even spot. Now he's up almost 20 supply. He's got a shuttle. This looks like he's trying to take top middle. Eddie, a difficult map to get a 3rd base. So this is a pretty surprising move that he's doing. And he's going to get away with it because there's no Overlord there.
Wow. Okay, well, you definitely have to make sure that that coverage is complete. And it looks like after losing those drones, it's like, okay, well, you got me, but now the Overlords should prevent any further losses. But hey, getting out there, and now we're looking to kill off NORAD 2, take a protected island 3rd base at the 12 o'clock.
And the Sayre's coming in again, going to get another full scout off, see exactly what's going on. I'm not sure if he saw that was a Queen's Nest. Oh, the Sayre unfortunately goes down. But Napoleon teching into pretty fast hive. Well,
storm drop. Storm
drop.
Oh no! Okay, that is a tragedy.
So what does Napoleon do now? He's just got his entire mineral line wiped. He wants to go into a hive because he built this Queen's Nest. But I have a feeling Dewalt's not going to let him get to that point. So this may trigger another all-in from Napoleon. The Zealots even getting a drone kill in the main.
Jeez.
Oh, Napoleon's in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Oh, no, not again. No, don't do it. Have some decency. Okay, all right, he turns around. I was gonna say, like, if you can just run back in and storm the redrone, like, okay, well, get me out of here. Is he actually gonna keep trying for this? No. All right.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about that Scourge because he knows there's no Spire, so he might as well just keep sharking around. It's not only is it potentially going to get drones, but it keeps Hydras back, which means he doesn't have to worry about getting countered. Yeah. So this is great for him.
Wow. Well, Dewalt, what a mastermind. I mean, you could kind of look at this group and say, well, Dewalt is in a pretty good spot. And even though
there he goes.
Maybe some of his... Oh, no. Okay, he's just scaring the drones away. Scare the drones away. There's a copy pasta for that. But here we go. Oh, the humanity, or Zerg. I don't know. They're not humans. But you get the idea.
The Templar for now.
Okay, yeah, get out of here. You gotta get out of here.
Are you kidding me?
No! I think he actually could have made it out by just running south, but anyway, mission accomplished.
Yeah, well, this is about the time that Dewalt wants to attack. I'm looking at his army. He's got a decent Dragoon count. He's got more coming out. So he's dealt economic damage. He knows that Napoleon's most likely building drones at this point, and now he's going to go for the killing move. And what does Napoleon have? He's got like 10 Hydras, a Lurker. He's building Mutas. I don't think that's going to help him during this attack.
Yeah, tell me more about how Mutas are a great call at this point. I mean, sure, a switch like this can run in, snipe the High Templar, and run away. But you can also just die, because I feel like this army is quite scary. Oh my god, that storm in the back line! Get out of here! What is this? I mean, it's about time to drop the Nagas in chat, man. It's time. There we go. GG. Napoleon taps out. Dewalt takes game number 1.
Yeah, that was perfect from Dewalt. He just responded amazingly to the 3-hatch Hydra. Unfortunately, Napoleon didn't deal enough damage. He did a lot with getting a lot of cannons, but that DT, getting 7 drones, kind of just started the snowball.
Oh, that double storm on the 3rd base. Oh, mwah. Unless you're a Zerg player, then you're probably not, you don't identify with that in the same ways that we are. So it looks like we are still waiting for the next match in this series. It's certainly an epic one, and because we don't want to make the players play under lag from me being in Korea and Nyoken being in America and Zero being in Poland, that would probably make some of the Brood War servers explode. So we're going to wait a little bit longer for the exciting game number 2. That'll be coming up in just a second. So I think we might take a short break and then come back as soon as we are ready for the second game in this series. But it'll be worth it. So in the meantime, you can follow Bombastic Star on Twitter, follow the Twitch channel ZZZero right here by clicking that follow button right up above, and then you can, I don't know, find something exciting to do until we come back with game number 2. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the BSL6 group. Rapid with me is Nyoken, and 350 of you beautiful people out there. Thank you so much for tuning into the BSL tonight. And as your reward, we're going to have the exciting conclusion, our winners match to find the first player to advance out of Group F. It's going to be Dewalt versus Napoleon. Now, Dewalt is up 1-0 in this series, and why don't you give our viewers a little bit of a jog to their memory of what happened in game number 1.
Dewalt versus Napoleon. What did happen?
Okay, all right. The test is... this is definitely a brain teaser. It
was Eddie. The
storm dropped.
Got in, the storm dropped, and it just kind of just snowballed from there. Yeah, Dewalt, it was even for a while, but Dewalt just does what he always does.
Yeah.
Just slowly gets a huge lead and then just closes it out.
He's not even winning by just fighting a good fight with an army. It's like, nope, I'm just going to kill all your stuff. I'm better. And he was better. A big thanks to Zero for kind of jogging our memories. We're just sitting here trying desperately to put 2 words, like one word after another, and Zero's like, well, just kind of knowing everything and doing everything behind the scenes. So big thanks to the brain, the mastermind behind BSL. And of course, big thanks as always for the observing and everything else that happens behind the scenes. So we're going to get into game number 2. The game is going to be on a blockchain, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's going to be kind of cool to see this map, I think, for the first time today. And always a pleasure to see one of the newer maps that's being played in the pro scene as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this because, like I said, I don't think I've seen any Zerg vs Protoss on here, so it's going to be cool to see what both of these players come out. This map is so unorthodox that 100% this cannot be Gateway Man. I know it. It cannot be Gateway Man. So I'm really hyped to see what we see Dewalt pull out.
Well, there's only one way to see that. So without further ado, let's get into game number 2 of our winners match to see if Dewalt can close it out 2-0 in advance, or if Napoleon can pull it back and take us to our ace match on Heartbeat.
So this replay is corrupted for me because I see myself versus a computer.
Yes. Well, this is the surprise, Nyoken. We're just gonna have you play the second map. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to do a quick restart Areno over here. That's
I think the person that has the corrupted replay, if they make it, works, right? I think that's the case.
As someone who has never had a corrupted replay, I have an excellent immune system, Nyoken. Never had a corrupted replay, so I'm just gonna let you handle this, and then I will join. And then, and only then, are we going to, let's see, game type 1-on-1. All right, I'm just gonna.
Okay, I make. Are you guys still in the game?
No, I'm not in the game. Wait, I'm in a lobby with Zero for the remake.
All right, I'll rejoin, but I'm not sure if this fixes it.
We'll try.
Let's try this again.
Okay, all right. So without further ado, let's get into game number 2 on blockchain.
Oh, it worked.
Success! All right, esports is saved once again. No matter how hard people try to kill it, it's back. And starting in the upper right-hand corner of blockchain, in the purple, playing from Korea, it's our Russian Protoss player, Dewalt. Man, I was so close to getting it right there at the end.
And in the bottom left, we've got the Finnish Zerg. It is Napoleon. Now, we do have a little bit of a spoiler with this game because we know it's long. But that just makes it more exciting because we know it's epic. I'm looking forward to both of the builds because, like I said, when I first saw this map, it's like, okay, well, you can't gateway man it. So that would lead me to believe that we're going to possibly see Ser Reaver. And what's Napoleon's response going to be to that? Is he going to go mass drop? Are we going to see the high-tech units like Mass Muta, Devour? I have no idea. These isolated third bases at all the middle slots, you know, those are essentially free bases, but they're highly exposed to drops. So I don't know what to expect from either of these players.
Yeah, what is going on in PvZ today? I guess we're getting plenty of opportunity to watch this matchup just over and over and over again. But definitely Dewalt plays a much different style. And regardless of the style, I think you really summed up what it is to play against Dewalt, Nyoken, by saying things are close and then he beats you because he's better. So it's something that we saw in game number 1 pretty extensively with all of that drone genocide that he was able to enact. But I hope that the reason that this game is just like super epic is that Napoleon is able to hold on, defend against all of that, and then fight back in some way that's super epic. So I don't know what to expect, but I hope it's good.
Yep, so we already have a weird build from Dewalt. We've got an in-base gateway. His probe moved up like he was going to build a gas, but that's a pylon, so that's going to be multiple zealots probably just going to block the ramp, and this probe is going to the left side, so he's going to be taking top middle probably as his first nexus, but the probe is so fast that he may even use it to scout. Is it going to go scout? No, it is looking like it's going to set up a nexus here. So this is already going to be a pretty safe base for Dewalt to take. But again, because of how the map is laid out, there's those eggs, there's those assimilators. You got to kill the eggs to reinforce. So if a drop comes in or mutas come in, it's going to take a long time for you to get to the nexus. But at the same time, if the assimilators die, I think that completes a complete wall, so units like Dragoons will not be able to fit through there. You're going to have to rely on shuttles or Sares. So that's what makes this map so interesting, is that one moment you can defend a certain way, and then the other moment you can't.
Yeah, it's very dynamic, and I like it a little bit better than maps like Troy or something, where it's a little bit more, I don't know, monolithic, a little bit less binary. There we go. Ugh. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to get across. The idea is that it's a little bit harder to just straight up say, okay, well, I should get out there and break through so that I can, traverse that terrain. It's like, well, not always. And so you can play aggressively by killing the eggs, or defensively by killing the simulator.
Yeah, so this one zealot and probe got in and dealt a pretty good amount of damage to Napoleon, but the probe did go down, and I think Dewalt saw bottom right, and look at this. We've got a hidden pylon down here. This is most likely going to be some type of gate. He's not going to put cannons on the ledge or something. And I don't think Napoleon saw it because there's no lings coming over. The Overlord I also don't think was in position. So
this is really sneaky. I love it.
Yeah. A lot of times you would see like a proxy DT, but it's so early in the game that that's not really viable at this point. But Dewalt's got to be careful because really he doesn't have any way to defend this nexus. We see lings going to the side right now to kill these eggs, but his zealots are sitting in the front of his base to make sure no lings come through the front. So it's going to take him a while to kill the eggs also, and maybe by then lings are already into the nexus dealing damage to the probe line.
Yep, Ling is just right now hitting the eggs. Yeah. And once those get broken through, I mean,
wow.
Tragedy can strike. I mean, this is one of the ways that we saw light dies. You can't defend long enough.
Look at the vision of Dewalt. Look at the eggs. The pylon sees the egg, but it can't see the lings. And this egg is already halfway dead. And like I said, these zealots are going to take a while to kill the eggs. So these lings might get in.
This is actually crazy. I can't believe we're watching something like this. The probe is going to get over there and reveal that, uh-oh, this is a little bit difficult. And with an egg that's about to die, this cannon, no way that warps in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if lings can fit through. I think that they got to go through the second egg also. And if they got to go through the second egg, well, then this cannon will be up. But the cannon, to be honest, may not be able to range these two lings at the back of the egg.
I didn't realize that one Zergling couldn't fit through with one egg being taken out, but I guess they are staggered a little bit. So, wow, I'm learning a lot, and we'll find out which lings this cannon can hit. So, not the first one. It probably actually could hit the rest of them. So, man, up just in time.
Yeah, and look at Dewalt at bottom right. He's got 2 gates going up, so this is a pretty big commitment. And those are exposed gateways. He has 1 gate in his main, so if Napoleon finds these gates, they're all going to go down. Zealot's coming in now, trying to get some damage done, but they're not in a great position. The drone drill is phenomenal.
Let's see if he even loses a drone. This is actually spectacular. Wow. Nice drill.
That was perfect from Napoleon, but still he has no idea about these gates at bottom left. That's unfortunate. There we go. I was just saying how a lot of times you build a proxy DT, and that's what's coming out. There's no defense here. There is the Overlord, but there's no way he's expecting a DT coming from the back.
Oh, yeah, and he's actually going to send out all of his lings at the same time. So there's 0 to defend this base down in the bottom right. Sure, the lings might be able to put on a little bit of pressure, but there are zealots blocking this narrow ramp. And here comes our first Dark Templar. Oh, it's actually going... Wait. Where's this
Dewalt's on the next level. He knows that these haven't been scouted, so if he can send even the second or third DT, it's probably going to deal equal amounts of damage as the first one. So he's just going to use these. Oh, he's even going to send 2. He's going to use his first couple DTs to break the eggs and get into the main. And probably while Napoleon deals with the main DTs, he's going to send the third DT to the third base and take that out once it starts getting chaotic.
This is so crazy. Dewalt is on like some galaxy brain next level. This is so sick. I love watching stuff like this, but this drone does not scout the gateways.
Well, here goes that first DT to the third base. I guess he's gonna just send it in now. Unfortunately, the sunken just came up. This is a bit of an anti-timing. Gets 2 drones regardless. Now, we don't know if Napoleon saw it, but if you did see those DTs come from the back, that would be a little bit suspicious. Napoleon taking the 4th hatchery at bottom right. This is very exposed. DT could kill it whenever he wants. But these 3 DTs are into the main now.
Oh, man.
This Overlord's moving out of position.
Oh, well. If I didn't know ahead of time that this was a super epic replay, I would be a little bit scared. Oh, wow. Immediate pull, even without the vision. But they're just going to target down the lair. Can they actually get this? I don't think so. That's a lot of Hydras.
Yeah,
You're going to try yet. Yeah, no way. So.
And DTs are not cheap. 125 minerals, 100 gas. And he's built 6 of them. And really all he's forced is a cancel on the 4th base. But now Napoleon knows that these gates are here, or I think he does. Does he not? The Overlord's just barely out of position, so he doesn't know just yet. But yeah, that's half the production for Dewalt. So it's gonna be hard for him to get out on the map and deny anything else if these 2 gateways go down.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna see them now, obviously, but yeah, what is gonna happen here? A lot of DTs. Maybe the DTs can just straight up fight the Hydras, but. Okay, yeah, DTs are pretty good. But yeah, with only 1 surviving, eventually all of this will get taken out. So, all right, Dewalt, you had your fun. Now it's time to play for reals.
Yeah, but Dewalt's in a bit of trouble because if we look at Napoleon, he's got even 5 hatches just at his left side of the map, and he's got 6, 7 at bottom right. He'll be taking the 4th base pretty soon as he clears these gates. What does Dewalt have? He has 2 gates. He's floating a bunch of minerals. He's trying to take his 3rd base, but this is so risky when you have literally no production. I feel like if Napoleon just kills these gates, goes and attacks top right, how does Dewalt defend it?
Well, not with gateways. He's got his 3rd one in production right now. And he starts taking his natural expansion. What a crazy way to start this game. Even Zealot's still killing off Hydras. I think he might get 1 more. No, just barely not. This is actually just so interesting. Man, blockchain really delivering. I gotta say, it allows the Protoss to get this super fast pace. Makes it really kind of touch and go early on, and then, yeah, of course, if you sneak a pylon in, anything's possible. But now the shoe is on the other foot, as they say. Napoleon finally pushing out with a massive amount of Hydras all the way across the map, and these 4 gateways not warped in yet.
Yeah, Dewalt's in trouble because Napoleon's already ahead in supply. A lot of times you're seeing, Protoss up 30 supply at this point, and Napoleon, he knows how far ahead he is. He's double expanding, taking bottom middle and bottom right. Oh, getting the Templar! Doesn't have enough energy for Storm anyways. And yeah, Napoleon's most likely going to deny this base. Oh, that was a great Storm.
Ooh, okay, well, I mean, with storms like that, then yeah, that's going to make the hold quite a bit easier, but it's not going to push Napoleon all the way back, although there are a bunch more cannons morphing in, so maybe that'll do it. Ooh, donating a free Overlord, don't want to do that.
Dewalt, look at this gateway at bottom.
Oh no.
Somehow the probe survived. He's built another gate. More DTs are coming down.
Is there no justice in the world? I honestly expected him to cannon rush with that probe. Like what hasn't that probe done? Also, there's a sneaky DT that was like killing a bunch of Hydras as they tried to come across the map. Whoa! 6 Storm! Pushing those Hydras back and almost killing the Overlord as well. These cannons and storms are definitely going to hold here in the natural. So Napoleon, I don't know if he wants to force the issue here.
Yeah, I don't think he can force the issue. There's just too much from Dewalt now. Dewalt has 7 gate. He's got storm. He's got several cannons. DT has gotten into the middle line at bottom right. It is getting cleared up. But this DT at bottom middle is going to the main. There's no Overlord.
Oh my god. And actually the layer is down around half health, so maybe target that down as well. Here comes the Scourge to defend. Alright, there are the Overlords, but DT actually is going to run away in time.
That was a great reaction from Napoleon because those DTs one-shotting the drones don't trigger the minimap alert. So Napoleon really on top of his game right there. He still does not know about this gateway. He's probably going to find it now, but there's 2 DTs. 2 DTs can deal with 3 or 4 Hydras pretty easily. But again, this is a big gas commitment for Dewalt. Really, the DTs have not done that much damage.
Oh yeah, especially in the grand scheme of things. It's like, oh no, I killed like 5, 10 drones. Like, well, this guy's got 7 hatcheries. So let me count this 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hatches actually. So, oh, 9 if you count the 6. So yeah, wow. anything you kill can be replaced. The income is insane, and it's time to stop hiding gateways, Dewalt. You got to get some additional tech up.
Yeah, so despite not thinking that we're going to see Gateway Man, you've got 9 10 gates available to him. He's starting to go for some shuttle play. I think that's what he needs because he's starting to fall behind. Napoleon's already got his bottom side of the map, and it's so difficult to split up your army on this map. Here come those... Oh, Scourge taking out the shuttle. Now the Templars are exposed. They're going to get some Hydras, but really that's not what you were looking for with Templars in this specific scenario. 4 drones, that's pretty good, but still, shuttle and 2 Templars and 2 Zealots, that's pretty expensive. Meanwhile, this DT at bottom middle, 7 kills.
Oh, stop it! Just make it end. Oh my goodness. Has he even scouted that gateway?
No, he doesn't know about the gate, and this DT just snuck around the side. If I was Napoleon, like, how the hell does he keep getting these DTs across the map?
Dewalt has to be laughing his ass off at this point. Like, I mean, this is a little bit clowny. Obviously, it is an extremely good exploitative situation to take advantage of if you have the chance. But look at this. Oh, okay, he actually gets citizens arrested down there in the bottom left. But another DT's out.
Yeah, he's just got him queued up nonstop, and 1 DT versus, well, 3 Hydras might be a little bit too much, but look, he's queued up 2 more. These DTs are buying a lot of time, because now Dewalt all of a sudden is out on the map with 150 supply versus 150, and this is blockchain. A lot of the supply of Napoleon is split up. There's a lot on the left side. There's about 10 supply of Hydras at bottom middle. Now this DT is going to bottom right, so he's going to get split up some more, and this is going to draw all the units at bottom right, most likely out of position, but that's a lot of lurkers. So I don't know if Dewalt will be able to bust through right here.
I think actually maybe he's got a pretty good shot. Let's see how good the storms are once they come into bear. There's a bunch of Hydras coming in from the rear. He's going to need the storm to keep them off the back of his army. Where are those storms? I'm waiting. There's a pretty good one. Running the Hydras forward into another storm. That's one way to stop the Hydras from hitting. And now the Zealots breaking all the way through onto this mineral line. So many dead drones.
He just ransacked Napoleon there. The DT is still at bottom middle. It killed a lot of drones at bottom right. Also that storm hit lurkers and drones at the same time. These DTs are so annoying. They were useless in the beginning, but now Dewalt, look at the supply, 150 to 110. He's taking top left. How does Napoleon stop this army? It's just huge.
Yeah, and how does he stop the bases coming up behind this? Honestly, Dewalt could double expand at this point, and he's just like, he's crushing it. And by it, I mean crushing the bottom right-hand base. He is going to get cleaned up in the end, but he should be able to extend the longevity of these units maybe a little bit longer, trying to run them away. But everything is going to get cleared up down here, so that'll, help out with the supply disparity that you were talking about. Now down to about 20 instead of 50.
Bottom middle. We still got DT's still coming. Now Dewalt's decided that, hey, he's probably scouted it. I better build this cannon to make sure I can get another DT out. But I think there's too many Hydras. But Dewalt did lose his whole army. And look, we were at 150 to 110 a minute ago. Now we're at 130 to 110, so it's not that bad for Napoleon. He's done a good job to keep his drone count very high despite losing so many to DTs. He's got good saturation at all of bottom left. Bottom middle is great. Bottom right is great. He's got a lot of hatches. He did lose 3 hatches there, though, at his third base. So that's a decent amount of production. But Dewalt, it just feels like he's slowly but surely getting back into this game. He's going to get top left now. What do you do from this point as Zerg?
Well, I mean, I think at this point you really just have to try to put on any amount of pressure. And that's what Napoleon is going to do. He's like, okay, well, I gotta go do something. So he heads out in the middle of the map and it's like, wait a second, that's just quite a bit of Protoss. So I mean, flanks are great opportunities. The Scourge see everything, and so it's going to allow him to engage the best way possible. Lots of lurkers burrowing, but the storms are so good.
Yeah, the storms are just fantastic, shredding through the lurkers, but there's just a little bit too much Napoleon right now. Dewalt's going to have to turn around. But it's still a pretty good scenario for Dewalt. He's going to be splitting the map. Now, I feel like the point of contention, if both players go for splitting the map, is these middle bases. So Dewalt maybe needs to start thinking about getting some Reaver play, because it's going to be very difficult to defend the mid bases, especially when you know that the opponent can kill the assimilators, and then definitely none of the gateway units can come in to defend.
I mean, that's a good way to. I guess one of the reasons you were saying, well, hey, Gateway Man is just not as viable on this map as others, because you just kill the assimilators and like, oh, well, I just can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and it can definitely catch you off guard, because you think you can, and then all of a sudden you can't. Now, this might be a little bit of a blunder from Napoleon right here, bleeding a few units. And yeah, Dewalt is recognizing that this is most likely going to be a split map. We see Probe going into the middle, already building a pylon. He's probably going to just spam a ton of cannons. This is a little risky. No cannons at all. The supplies are so even that I don't know if he can get away with this, but he's going to try to.
I mean, he's gonna try. I don't know how successful that will be. At the end of the day, something has to stand up to Dewalt. He can't keep getting away with it. But what does Napoleon have to stand up to it? He's got Hydras. That's it.
All of his units are on the right side of the map. Now, he will have a massive flank once they finally get here. But the army of Dewalt is huge. There was a shuttle drop to bottom right, but it got picked off. It had 4 Templar in there, so there's actually not that many storms available for Dewalt. I think there's 3. That's a lot of Hydras. Dewalt getting sandwiched here. He's going to lose his whole army.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to survive here. I mean, the storms are fantastic, but not fantastic enough. And so finally Napoleon finds the answer. The question he's been asking all game long is like, how do I survive the onslaught? And that's how you do it. 6 flank, but now it's time for round 2. We're gonna have shuttle speed, massive amounts of gateway units, and probably drops everywhere Napoleon or Dewalt can get his hands on.
And Dewalt canceled his middle nexus. He knows there's no way he can defend that after losing his entire army. And that was actually his entire army. He had like 2 zealots at his natural. So he's got to completely rebuild it. Meanwhile, Napoleon, all of his tech is kicked in. He's got good upgrades. He's got Defiler Mount coming in. He's got Adrenaline. He's got Hive. He's going to go to top left and unfortunately see that Dewalt already has this. But he is going to pick off a few probes. I don't think that's a huge loss at this point in the game now that we have so many Nexus. But yeah, it feels like it's kind of a stalemate at this point. Dewalt can't really attack. Napoleon can't attack. And Napoleon's doing the smart thing. He's taking mid-left. Another drop going bottom right. 2 Templar, 2 Zealots. Napoleon hasn't seen it just yet. And there's a lot of econ on this side of the map for Napoleon.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Here we go. He's gonna go all the way. Drops 1. Oh wow, the second storm is actually the money storm. Gets maybe 2 kills on one of those High Templar. I didn't see what was on the other one.
Now, he did lose his shuttle and 2 Templars, so it is a big loss for him. And Napoleon has so many hatcheries that he will be able to rebuild the drone pretty quickly. So I'm not sure who got the better end of that trade. But yeah, it seems like the game has stabilized at this point. Napoleon taking mid-left. Dewalt trying... Napoleon is just so high in supply that Dewalt has to just wait to get that big super army. I'm surprised we haven't seen something like an Arbiter come out. Go for that real value exchanges during fights.
Dewalt ran 1 Zealot into that bottom right-hand base and killed 1.5 probes. Or 1.5 drones. It's like, okay, that's... He's just getting every little ounce of value he possibly can. This is like when you think you've killed a Terran player, but you can't really kill him. Now look what Dewalt's doing. He's killing 9 o'clock with DTs. Yeah,
and there's just no answer. I don't think Napoleon's killed those eggs, so this is going to be a dead hatchery. Dewalt has killed the eggs on his side of the map. That's a base that he could potentially take at this point. And I like what Dewalt's doing. Finally, out of all the Protoss vs. Zerg games, this is the first time we've seen a defensive robotics at top left. That means the Reaver is probably going to be coming in pretty soon. And like I said, Dewalt at this point just needs those value units. The Storm, Dark Archon, Reaver, Stasis.
Yeah, he's going to need everything, especially Reaver. I don't feel like we've seen enough Reaver play from late game Protosses. Cracklings just will kill everything. Kind of interestingly, we're getting Flyer Carapace here, or Napoleon. Do you know what that is? Are there like mutas or guardians somewhere that I haven't seen?
No, we haven't seen any of that, but I think that also Napoleon's feeling like this is going to be the split map, be as cost efficient as possible Protoss, and usually that means you're going to be seeing Sares, even carriers potentially, arbiters. So you're going to need to get that armor, because if they start coming in with, you know, +3 Sare or +3 carriers or something like that, and you don't have any armor, you're just going to see stuff insta-melt. Also, Devourers are really good versus those units. So it's mandatory that you're going to have those armor upgrades.
Good point. Let's watch Dewalt. He is pushing out and retaking control of that middle base. Empty that. And hopefully actually maybe move up and take out the small contingent of Hydras that's waiting outside of his upper bases. Yeah, it looks like if he can crush this, he'll actually be in a really good spot to control the entire upper half of the map. And he does kind of need to get control of that. Ooh, nice storms filling up everything in the upper right.
Yeah, but Napoleon's going to deny mid-left. And that was a critical timing, because that Nexus was about to finish and cannons were going up. Also, Dewalt, you see bottom left that assimilator is still up. He was desperately trying to get the second one, but not able to get it down. And that's allowing those Hydras to deny mid-left. Meanwhile, Napoleon taking mid-right. And we see armor upgrade even coming out for Dewalt for his air. So he is going to be transitioning into some type of airplay. I'm trying to find the fleet beacon. I have not found it yet, so I'm curious what exactly he's going to be using all these air upgrades for. Dewalt, he looks like he wants to attack, but Napoleon is just so hunkered down. Really, you can't attack into this.
Oh, upper left in the, I guess, 10 o'clock base. There's a Dark Archon being morphed in there by Dewalt. Also, Reavers and Shuttles on the way. So, just going to see some craziness. And honestly, you know what my most favorite thing to see would be? That would be a cheeky, like, I don't know what you call it, it's a stove. And just run in there, mind control a drone, and then maybe recall it out. I love it.
Rapid, I've been waiting for that. For 20 years, I've been waiting for Protoss to recall a Dark Archon, steal an SCV or a drone, and then recall it back out. That's the potential, but I've never seen it in an actual game. Dewalt, maybe he can pull it out, but it's most likely going to be for Maelstrom or Mind Control. Mind Control would be great. If he can Mind Control a Defiler and plague the Zerg units, that would be incredible.
I feel when you Mind Control the Defiler, but you've never played Zergs, so you forget the hotkey, and then it dies, and you're just like, oh man, that was so close. But the idea is that, yeah, spells and cost effectiveness are really going to come into a super high priority as the game draws later and later on. And I mean, we're 26 minutes in. This is our longest game of the night so far. Not our longest game of BSL, but it might be before we're done with everything.
Yeah, now this Zealot and Archon has shut down bottom middle from Napoleon again. It even gets the hatchery on the last hit. But Napoleon still has mid left, he's got mid right. Dewalt's trying to deal with mid right. There's one Zealot there. Oh, but Dewalt, he wants to attack bottom left. Again, I don't think, well, I don't know. There's only Lings and only a couple Lurkers, and Dewalt's army is very scary. He can possibly bust through here? Maybe not. Zealots versus Ling Lurker, not the greatest combo.
Yeah, definitely, especially not Cracklings. But Storm versus those things is a pretty good match there. And Dewalt is actually making pretty good progress as far as units go. There's not a lot, but it is a very entrenched position, so there's static defense, and this Defiler should actually help hold this quite a bit.
Yeah, and look, Dewalt's army is not very big. Oh, a big plague. There's like 7 Dragoons, an Archon, and 2 Templar. I mean, I would say Dewalt should possibly turn around, but I think if he turns around, he's going to get killed anyway, so he might as well just kill as much as he can. Well, as I say that, of course he turns around. But it's getting a little ugly for Dewalt at this point because Napoleon's got both of the middle bases.
Both of the middle bases and just incredible economy. He's building like 22 pairs of Lings at a time. just cramming out units all the time, nonstop. You're not going to be able to keep up with the energy that you need to keep storming these. And so you're going to have to turn to another form of splash damage, and that's going to be these Reavers. Oh, Storm Drop at the 9 o'clock base. Every single drone on those top patches dies.
Yeah, but again, is it worth it? Because these are Templars that Dewalt's going to lose, and he's really on 1.5 bases at this point. Napoleon can remake drones at will. He has so many hatches. Another attempt to drop at mid-right. Archon going down. All 3 of those Templars at mid-left have died. And Napoleon, really all he has to do is just stall this game out. He'll flat out just win by out-mining Dewalt. But here come mass Sares and shuttle bombs. Here come those Reavers. He's going to have Sarah Reaver in the mid-late game, and he's going to shut down this base pretty easily.
Wow, this is a big move. Dewalt's saying, look, you might have a very strong standing ground army, but I can strike in a very painful way. Ooh, main earning probes all dying. These lurkers out there, but that base is going to go down, and he should be able to save everything because there's no anti-air, no Hydras, just Lings. Actually, there are a couple of Hydras, but this is double shuttle Reaver DT.
Now remember that air armor that we got on our Overlords. They're at +2 armor. These Sares are only +1, so the Overlords are actually surviving for a long time for Napoleon. He's not going to have to rebuild Overlords very quick. Oh, we've got a huge drop to top left. This is really... Oh, a Dark Archon already waiting. He knows about it. He's going to Maelstrom it.
Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, there it is! Beautiful. Oh, a double Maelstrom all the way across the sky. Whoa. Oh my god. Double Maelstrom.
I like how Dewalt got all the important Overlords in Maelstrom, and the one that was not in Maelstrom had nothing in it. Now, he still uses Storm anyways, but that was hilarious. But, oh, that was a big loss for Napoleon, but he still has mid-left. But now, oh, Dewalt lost his shuttle. So this Reaver is going to be exposed. I was going to say that Dewalt is being cost-efficient with these Reaver and Corsairs, but he's actually not. And he's almost broke at this point.
I mean, that was the pimpest play, right? That was the finesse, right? Of Dewalt saying, well, out of all of the ways to stop this, choosing to use that full energy Dark Archon. Finally, we get some usage out of the big boy up there. But it's not over yet, right? I mean, we still have massive economies and infrastructures for both players. But it does feel like Dewalt has sort of tried to tip the scales with that move, because now that he's sort of fended off that one big play that Napoleon was trying to make, he's down to Napoleon's down to 136 supply. In 30 minutes, you need a little bit more than that. And so now Dewalt is going to say, okay, look, I've made the big move, time to take the middle.
Yeah, and it looks like, yeah, exactly. Dewalt's, I guess, decided that he can't keep attacking mid-left or mid-right, so he's going to defend, or he's just going to defend the middle, try and take that on his own. Now, if he can get that and deny just even one of the bases, then he'll be even bases, and I feel like Protoss is just more cost-efficient at this point, or at that point. Dewalt attacking again. I'm surprised. He does have a lot of value units. He's got double Reaver this time. He's got the Dark Archon. It's almost enough energy for Maelstrom. Can't get that shuttle picked off. So close. Is Dewalt going to bust through here? His army's very strong. It's a bottleneck. We have so many storms available. Oh no, Napoleon, he's getting choked up. Big storm on top of the Hydras. Defiler's even going down.
Yeah, and he's waiting for feedback, I guess, on that Dark Archon, but it is certainly sort of paving the way, along with these massive storms. Oh my goodness. One full energy Defiler moving forward. Not feedback in time.
Looks like Dewalt has finally cracked Napoleon. There's a lot of supply at top left that Napoleon has finally found, but is it in time? The Dragoon count is very low. The storms are running out. I think that it will just be enough for Napoleon to hold on. He's even coming from behind with a ton of Lings and Hydras. This is going to be another full army loss from Dewalt. And now this mid base is really exposed. I don't know if Napoleon knows about it, but if he does, he's probably just going to swoop around there and kill that too.
Well, Dewalt is going to lose everything in the end. I don't know. I mean, I guess there are situations where, yeah, you're just going to have to trade your army away, but now, how the tides of battle have turned.
Look at Dewalt's army. We have 6 Templar, 1 Zealot, and there's 4 Templar in this shuttle. But he cannot afford to lose these Templar. Oh man, he needs to get some type of buffer for these Templar. You can't cast Storm from all of them. Here comes Napoleon trying to deny the middle. There's just so many storms though.
Oh, the probes moving in at the worst time. Get those out of here. Oh my goodness, he's gonna lose so many probes.
Oh, he lost all of his probes. He's also gonna lose all of the Templar. That's what I'm saying. You have so many Templar, but you can't cast Storm on all of them. And Dewalt's gonna get this base denied. Napoleon taking mid-right again. He's still got mid-left. The top left base is really the only mining base left for Dewalt.
Well, I feel like Dewalt was actually in an amazing position there, right?
I think if he had more Zealots in combination with the Templar, maybe 5 Templar and like 6 Zealots, then he would have been better. But you can't cast Storm on 12 Templar. It's like impossible to do. But Dewalt, he's still fighting. He's trying to deny mid-right. He does another DT drop, so he is going to deny it. But he is running dry. Top left is down to 400 minerals each.
Well, I think the ultimate victor of this series, being forced to drop the High Templar out of the shuttle, and I think he might actually just lose it here. These DTs are going to town, though. The drones were Maynarded over a little bit early, or I guess transferred over. I think Maynard is specifically the first transfer of drone to your expo. But anyway, the idea is Dewalt's doing the utmost, but I do think he needs a little bit more cost effectiveness. Although another big drop at the 9 o'clock does kill every drone there too.
Yeah, and if we look at Napoleon's income, it's non-existent. Bottom right is mined out. He has bottom middle going.
Wow.
But really, the issue for him is he has all these drones at bottom right. They're all on gas, though. He needs to transfer them to top left because he's not mining at all there. And Dewalt all of a sudden is ahead in supply. He's still on a timer, though. If he does not get another base, he will starve out. Oh, what a nail biter here.
Oh, this is so crazy. I'm so glad that we, hit the pause button on this series and then came back later on. The exciting conclusion. I agree. I think the toll has finally been taken. Another huge storm drop, just devastating the space again. The 9 o'clock. And yeah, at this point, I think Dewalt is kind of playing with his food. He's like, look, you have to keep these bases up, and I can just keep storm dropping them. So. Yeah, immaculate the way that he's playing this. But I mean, both players are just on their last vestiges of resources. We're basically mining out this gigantic map.
And Dewalt has massed up a sizable army at this point. He's got several Dragoons, several Templar, and Zealots. Now if he can just get it over to the left side, that Assimilator is still alive for now. The Ling is trying to take it down, but he could potentially go through the high ground on the left side, kill mid-left. I think the Assimilators are busted on the right side, so he doesn't have any opportunity there. But that chance is out the window now because the Assimilator just went down. So where does Dewalt attack with his army? It's so strong, but it can't attack anywhere of importance.
I think the biggest thing might be just to secure the center of the map. If you know that your opponent is running out of resources, just force a bunch of cost-effective trades. I'm waiting. Oh, look at this Reaver. Oh.
He just stormed all the drones again, but he did lose a Reaver, he did lose a Templar. Those are expensive units. Also, I noticed that the shuttle's gone, so that probably died. And Dewalt, like I said, he's got a good ground army, but he can't do anything with it. Even if he kills bottom right, that's not really important at this point. Napoleon doesn't have the econ to support the 10 hatches he has, so losing this doesn't matter. Look at Napoleon scrambling to get this Assimilator down. He's trying it, gets down. So again, can't attack mid-right.
Wow, really great, I guess, timing on that. Redroning both sides of the map, starting to get that econ coming back in. But, Dewalt is sort of finishing things off down here in the bottom right. And, eventually every base that he is able to take out will be, one less than he needs to worry about. So let's see if he can both kill this base and escape, live to tell the tale.
Yeah, every time Dewalt has pushed this far in, He's gotten surrounded from all angles. This time, I think he's going to get away with it. Napoleon has recognized that this base doesn't matter. It's not like he's losing his hive and all of his tech buildings. Just losing hatches, he can't necessarily even use them anyways. So no, Dewalt will get that kill, but again, it doesn't matter. He needs to get the middle. Another big drop to mid-left, killing a lot of Lings. But again, he lost all of his Templars again.
Yeah, I mean, Napoleon's got a 5k gas bank, 4.5k. Napoleon's is at 1k, but it's not infinite, especially since we are dealing with finite resources left on this map, most of them in the middle. So I think Dewalt might finally decide to say, look, this is where I'm going to take my stand to live or die by the middle of the map. He wants to do it.
Here comes that probe. It's going to be putting down the Nexus now. He needs to keep everything consolidated there. He just doesn't have any entry path into mid-left or mid-right unless he's just going to keep shuttling in. I don't think you're going to be elevatoring Dragoon Zealot. And even if he wanted to, he can't. Napoleon has Hydras already set up on the left side. He's got Sunken set up on the right side. So really, this is Dewalt's last hope. If he doesn't get the middle, he's going to be out of resources. He's down to about 5 patches at top left. This is it for Dewalt.
And this game is so sick. Can he? Oh, look at that plague! Oh, disgusting! Hits almost half the units in this final final ball of units from Dewalt. So it's just that's all he had, and now it's half as good.
Yeah, this is the point in the game where its spellcasters are just so incredible. Storm, Plague, Queens could be even good for Napoleon. Start broodlinging anything, doesn't really matter. And Dewalt, where's the Dark Archon? He's got Reavers. Okay,
he lost the last one, but I'm waiting for the next few.
Looks like Napoleon's going to try and deny this, and I don't think he'll be... Wow, he's building 12 Lurkers at bottom left. I don't know if that's really going to work out for him, though, because now that we have Reavers, we still have so many Dragoons, we still have a lot of Templar available. Doesn't really seem like the greatest choice to try and bust through with, but he's going to try to do it. He's got a decent amount of Lings. He's got more Defilers. They just got enough energy for another Plague. Look at him come in. Oh, the catch-up.
Oh my goodness! Wow, there's so annoying to deal with because there's no counterplay. Now, on the other side, the Storm is actually very good, storming the Defiler. He gets under the Dark Storm, now storming the Lurkers and taking out quite a few of them. Zealots running underneath. Even still, big army to trade. I don't know how much longer our players can keep doing this. Napoleon's used up half of his bank, and Dewalt has very little resources left, but he is mining from the center.
Yeah, well, Napoleon still has a very big army. He's got Ling, Lurker, but you saw how many Lurkers died there. That was a huge investment. The Reavers are still alive, and Reavers are just going to mow through these Lings. Oh, is he gonna
their DPS is very low. He was unable to scourge the shuttle. Reavers to take out the Lings and the Defiler, but the Dark Storms get off, and that means that Lings will be able to run underneath and start to put some damage on. One of these Reavers does go down. The next one's about to fall. Sick pickup to save it at the last possible second.
Yeah, now really there's not much counter to this Dark Storm. We have like 2 Zealots, a Dark Templar, and there's Storm energy, but there's only 1 Storm available. Oh, there's a bunch of Templar coming in from the back, but the Reaver has not been unloaded. He needs to get down. Look at these Lings just go. They were dealing a decent amount of damage. I don't know. Napoleon looks like he's getting desperate. He's kind of not trading that well anymore.
Yeah, he's just funneling in Lings one by one, or Hydras just little bit by little bit, and there is just barely enough to keep holding on. Now, we're down to our last Reaver that I think we're going to see for maybe the rest of the game here. And I think it is going to come down to, can Napoleon take this base out? I think inevitably that will be a yes. Wait, does he have any detection here? This DT could actually just be a really big savior, although with this Reaver getting lower and lower. Oh my god, this is so tense. Reaver goes down.
It might just be a little bit too much Napoleon. More lanes coming in, more Hydras. There's not enough Storm to be everywhere. There's no supporting cast, no Zealots. There's only 1 DT. It just got stormed to death. No Reaver. Even storms all his probes. So I think Napoleon's going to take it right here. This is all the mining for Dewalt.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. These 4 hero Hydras. And I mean, I guess all the links funneling back in. But yet Dewalt doesn't have anything left. He's got a Storm, maybe an Archon. Dewalt is not giving up, but damn, Napoleon finally able to win in the end. GG. Dewalt taps out Napoleon, brings it back in game number 2 after 43 minutes.
Yeah, that was a sick game. That's one of the best Protoss vs. Zergs I've seen in a long time. And yeah, blockchain, that's what it does. It just creates these crazy ass games. We had proxy gate from the 3-minute mark. We had a second proxy gate. We had,
oh my goodness,
assimilators dying, just barely preventing Dewalt to deny mid left and mid right. Like, that was ridiculous.
You had everything. You had double Maelstrom at the end. Basically every unit except a lot of the Sky Zerg units. I'm just like, oh my goodness. And the best part is, well, there's 2 best parts. 1,
yes,
it's not the end of the series, and 2, it's Heartbeat for our 3rd game in this series. I don't even know what to expect there, man.
Yeah, we're on to another crazy map. Again, I haven't seen Protoss vs. Zerg either because Gorinich was the all-star during the ladder tournament, just going through a ton of Terrans non-stop. So this will also be an interesting game to watch. I hope it's as epic as that one. It could definitely be that epic because Heartbeat has those island bases, and if you can secure island bases, you all of a sudden are going from 4 or 5 base to 6, 7, 8 base. That's a lot of resources that could turn into an epic game.
All right, well, I'm finally ready to go with our 3rd game in the series. It is on Heartbeat. I have no idea what to expect here. That last game was super epic, so I'm hoping for one more here in the deciding match to decide whether or not Dewalt will be our first player to advance, or if Napoleon can complete the upset and skyrocket out of this group and on to the next round of the BSL Season 6. So without further ado, let's get in our final game, this winner's match. All right, let's go ahead and get things started. In the bottom right-hand corner, in the brown as Zerg from Finland, it is Napoleon.
And in the bottom left, we've got the Protoss powerhouse. It's Dewalt. Yeah, so I don't know what to expect here. Again, the map is not like blockchain, but it's the similar experience for me where I'm not sure what to expect. I think this is going to be more gateway based. I found it surprising that we went gateway man on blockchain, but Dewalt made it work. So if he's not going to pull out Sarah Reaver there, I find it hard to believe he'll pull out anything other than gateway man on this particular map. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. Dewalt going for a fast scout, or is he? Wow. Okay, someone check Dewalt. Is he stream cheating? Who goes to the top? Is like, nah, Zerg's not there, and goes directly for the first scout at bottom right.
It's that star sense, man. And you play enough on the Korean. I keep telling people, you start training in Korea, you get that Gosu star sense. It's like we've got a monopoly on. I'm just making things up. It's just really cool to see. The decision making is on point here for Dewalt. I don't know how he knows, but I mean, here he is with the probe in the mineral line being annoying. Now, where do you put the hidden pylon on Heartbeat? I don't know. Probably not going to be as easy as it was on blockchain. Certainly at all.
So Dewalt with the first scout, he identifies that it's an overpool. Because of that, he's putting down the forge. Now we'll have to see, is he going to be greedy and put down that nexus before the cannon? He's going to try and check that link count. If he can get away with that Nexus first, we know he'll go for it. He already showed that he's willing to put down the Nexus before scouting at all on Benzene. That's what it looks like. It's going to be a Nexus before cannon, so his build is going to be that more streamlined.
I mean, so I guess the biggest thing about this is there is that, like, I don't know what you want to call it, in-base island expand. So it's, I guess, safer, but at the same time, it's kind of vulnerable, especially because you can just like get vision and attack it from the low ground. So I want to see if that is something that's utilized early on to get those bases, because I think we saw something like that on blockchain where Dewalt took the 12 o'clock base early on and tried to use that as a way to safely get that early expand up. So you can do something kind of similar, but it is a little bit more vulnerable.
Wow, I think this is a misstep from Napoleon, bleeding off Lings, and that triggered
Ooh.
an instant cancel on the cannon. Now Dewalt's gas seems maybe a little late. No, maybe not. But regardless, he's still got his probe alive in the base of Napoleon. Now, Napoleon, I have to say that as opposed to the 235 gas that we were seeing consistently all day, this was a little bit later, maybe about 250. So he's going to have a little bit more drones, getting more minerals, let him power a little bit harder. But this time, Napoleon has gone for a hatchery across the map. So again, we're going to be going for a split map scenario. There are bases at the middle of the map, like mid-right, mid-left. He could have potentially taken a base there, but he has decided not to go for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about like the natural way that this game would progress. One thing, we had such a sick resource battle in that last map that what might play into this is that the first of all, there's no center base, so no last bastion to try to hold on to. Third, wait, I think I'm on third. I don't know. The gas geysers are reduced at the third bases, so if you do decide to go for an early base there, that's going to run out a lot. So even though this map looks like it has a lot of bases, some of them are a little bit more depleted than others. Also reduced mineral counts at those third bases as well. So I don't know. I'm just trying to like look through the different like features here and try to figure out what could change some of these players' play styles, because we are also going to get the return to this Corsair style, because we didn't have that in the last game either.
Well, I can tell you one thing that'll change play styles. Napoleon going 3-hatch Hydra.
Oh boy.
The probe is outside of the base, so it does not know what's going on. Now, it's key that this Zealot at the top, if it sees Hydras pop out from this hatchery, he knows what's going on. So Napoleon's got to make sure that he does not build Hydras from this specific hatchery. That's going to get, as I say that, there they are. So it's imperative that this Zealot goes down before these Hydras get shown, because as soon as he sees them, the gig is up. Also, there's a Zealot at the natural, so he's going to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
You can't show him. He smartly did not show him.
Oh, they had, but I think they. Oh no, he's gonna kill the Zealot with the Hydras.
They got shown at top left. So now Dewalt knows, but does he know there's only one cannon? He may have not been paying attention. Oh, he does know. He sends a probe immediately out there. There's only one cannon.
He's definitely gonna need a few more than that. Gotta start spamming. Oh, he's gonna lose the Corsair. No.
Survives. There's no Zealot either.
Oh my god, what? Is this gonna be the shortest game? Is Napoleon going to advance out in first place?
He's got to go though. Like, he's got the Hydras, but he's not going. He can range that cannon. He can't wait for these 4 cannons to get up. The Walt's gonna survive. You gotta go.
Why? What's the hesitation? Like, what is he? What are you scared of? You have actual units. Your opponent does not. Okay, well, the gateway's gonna go down. He's gonna try to dive through onto the cannons, but look at the probe block. Oh, 6 probes, put the pro in probe. Keeping those Hydras off these precious cannons, giving them the seconds they need to complete.
Oh my gosh, this was perfect defense from Dewalt. The probe control also to get back that surface area that he lost from the gateway. Just immaculate. And now Sure, he's even gonna kill a Hydra with probes.
No.
What can't he do? What can't Dewalt do? And Napoleon's all in. He's continuing to build Lings, more Hydras, putting down a 4th hatch. He has no drone saturation at top left. This is make or break for him. And meanwhile, behind it, Dewalt has tech, but he has no gateway, so he's only only relying on these cannons.
Wow. I mean, if this was a snow map tile set, guaranteed the Finnish Zerg player would have the advantage. But uh-oh, it's not. We're playing on even footing here, and for Dewalt to hold so immaculately, what a god. His probes are like flash SCVs. Like, they just do things other workers can't.
You got that right. There are games I watch of Flash, and I'm like, how do you do that with SCVs? He just makes it look effortless. He's like talking to his chat while doing it. I'm like, how do you do it? But that was amazing from Dewalt. The real threat, though, is that Napoleon still has a strong army. If Dewalt had even just one gate, he does have one gate, and that sneaky DT is coming out. So Napoleon, I think he lost his window. There's just flat out too many cannons now. The DT is going to be out there also, but he's going to go for it. But I just think there's too many cannons at this point. There's 9. He's trying to desperately bust through, but the Lings and Hydras are dying so fast.
And the probes drill through again. Keep in mind these +1 Corsairs are also being very useful at the same time, picking up a bunch of Overlords, but he does lose all of them in the end. All but one that's on 2 HP. So
yeah, but
actually
it's not even just that. That Sair, have you been wondering the whole time, how does Dewalt drill on something? There's nothing to drill on. It's because this Sair is getting vision of a resource, allowing him to drill. So these Sairs not only killing Overlords, they've been crucial for the defense for Dewalt. And now Dewalt is in a great spot to take this game. He's got enough gateways up. He can actually start putting on pressure to Napoleon if he wants to. But I think Napoleon isn't even thinking about transitioning. He knows he has to end it here or it's going to be over.
And the DT's going to kill the 3rd base single-handedly. So that is super critical damage. There's no Overlords, there's no defense, there's no chance for that 3rd. So you got to go now, because you're never going to beat him on 2 bases, and you're certainly not going to beat him if you give him more time to get these cannons up.
Yeah, here comes Napoleon. He's trying to bust through. There's just flat out too many cannons. This is most likely to be his last stand. There's no Storm, no Zealots, but the cannons are dwindling. Oh, a big Storm.
Oh my god, he has Size Storm. What? Okay, well, yeah, there you go. That's one way to stop it. So a 3-hatch Hydra becomes a now 2-hatch Hydra that is fighting a Protoss with 2 Storms, maybe more, there to defend, and 5 cannons. So that saved the 3rd hatchery just barely, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's saved for now, but you know that DT is going to come back.
Oh, he's coming
hatchery.
back.
Oh, well, he may have decided he's just going to take out the Nat. You know, the Sair has been scouting the whole time. I think it died eventually. Oh, no, it's top left. Look, I like how Napoleon moves this one Overlord for the first time the whole... Going directly into the main. This is going to be it. Napoleon either wins with this attack or it's over.
1, 2, 3, 4, and there it is. GG. Napoleon taps out so close. But in the end, Dewalt's too good, and he winds up taking game number 3 for the 2-1 victory to advance out in first place of Group F.
Yeah, I think everybody expected Dewalt to get out. Of course, he's just on another level in comparison to everyone else. But Napoleon, he put up a really good showing, and I'm shocked he didn't jump on the cannon. He saw it was one cannon. He also saw there's no Zealot, so I don't know what he was waiting for. It is true that he killed the gateway, which opened up a bigger surface area. But the drilling from Dewalt was like, what? That was incredible.
It was so good. I'm glad you pointed out the Corsair enabling that. You know, a lot of people might have said, yeah, Dewalt's going to advance from this group. But if you just look at the numbers on the set score, it doesn't tell the whole story. Napoleon played his heart out, and against a player like Dewalt to take that 41-minute game, whatever it was, it's insane. One of the best games of BSL so far, by far. Yeah, just really incredible match between those two players. you know, I've been casting for, what is this, 4.5 hours now. It's 7:30 a.m. and I'm just, and normally I would be hoping for these, like, you know, 2.5-minute series. But I'm just so happy that we got such amazing games. And congratulations once again to Dewalt for advancing out of his group in BSL.
Yeah, but now we're going to be going into another epic series. It's going to be Dragon versus Napoleon. I think Napoleon took out Dragon earlier, so it's going to be a rematch. And he looks pretty dominant.
Yeah, I would say that Napoleon might be maybe a little bit frustrated after losing against Dewalt, but if it's that close against Dewalt, and you're going up against Dragon next, he's going to be pretty warmed up. So we're going to get warmed up after a quick break, so don't go anywhere. Hit the follow button while you can. Subscribe or donate if you feel so led. But at the very least, stick around, and we'll be right back with our final series of the night.